those of you can see, I am wearing my Marvel top. Put down below who you think my favourite Marvel character is. Bonus points if you get it right. Sawadee tuk konka. Dajahao. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's a little bit of a different location at the moment because this isn't one of my usual videos. You know, normally I've got my backdrop, my hair out, my face looking gorgeous. I mean, it already is gorgeous because it's me. But today I'm actually reviewing a language learning app, so I thought why not bring you to my study area. As a side note, would you be interested in a study with me video? So you know, ones where I don't cut out. So normally with my other one, I cut out, so I kind of just condense what I do. But I was thinking of doing one where I do, for example, maybe half an hour or an hour study session. I'll film the whole thing, put some nice music, so then you can sort of put that on and study along with me. Because you know, sometimes it's just nice to have someone to study with, especially in these lockdown times. So if you would love to see that, drop a comment down below. Let's just get into this video. I was approached by the language learning app Ling. They paid for me to have a premium account for 2 months. I'm then able to review whether or not I like the app, what I think about it, how it works, how much I've used it, and give my honest opinion to you guys. I have an affiliate link, so if you were to purchase this app via my link, then I would receive something. I mean, I don't know how much I receive. This isn't me saying, yeah, go out and buy the app because I'm gonna get paid monies, because that's not the case. I have made some notes on what I think and I just kind of want to share those with you. So Ling is a language learning app. They say on their website that they have over 60 languages. However, when I was looking into how much it costs if you wanted to buy, it kept saying 52 plus. So I'm going to err on the side of caution and say they have at least 50. They have at least 50 languages on there. One thing I really do like is that they have a lot of languages that aren't in the mainstream. So it's good to have an app that kind of covers all of these different languages. That's one thing I really did like. I like the fact that I'm able with the premium account to go on to both what my main language, so Thai, what I'm learning, but also to then add other languages on it if I wanted to. The first impressions of the app when I opened it was, to be honest, for me it was quite slow to load, and I don't know if that was maybe my phone, but I don't think it is my phone because all of my other apps load quite quickly, but for some reason this always seemed to be quite a delayed response in opening. And I also found that sometimes when swapping between lessons, again, it was quite slow with opening. Okay, I did use this quite frequently and consistently. As you'll see on the screen, the introduction, beginner's basic sentence hasn't been done. I have used this app in the free version as well. So in the free version, you get access to the first 2 lessons in beginner. So that's the introduction and basic sentences. And you can use those as if they were premium. So you have every single functionality enabled on a premium account for all the other lessons you can experience for these 2 beginner lessons. So I have actually done these 2, but it was on a free account, not a premium account. There are 5 different levels, and you've got beginners, which has 10 units. Then we slide over to intermediate with another 10. We slide to upper intermediate with another 10. And we have advanced with 10, and then expert with 10. So we're gonna go back to the beginner just so you can get an idea. And I'll scroll through and you can see we've got introduction, basic sentences, we've got numbers and family, numbers and counting, activities, food and taste, veg in the cat, quite a lot of good basic stuff that you'll need. Now you'll see here that I have done numbers and family, but you'll see like a crack. Now that crack is basically saying that you've done it, however you haven't revised it in a while. So in order to not lose those memories, you should really go on there and review that content. So if I click it, you will see that these comes up and it has each point. So for example, like here we have numbers and family, we'll have 4 lessons inside them. And then after you finish those lessons, you can do a speaking activity, a writing activity, and an exam. We're going to do a lesson because I want you to see how the lesson is. So we'll just start with the first one, which is to cost 1, 3, 5, and 10.
ราคา
And so then that will come up and it will tell you the word. I personally have it set so that all I can see is Thai and English, but you can change it by putting, if you wanted to see how it's said, so rather than just the Thai alphabet, you've got the sort of more romanized way. And the good thing is you have 2 speeds. So you've got the fast or like normal speed, which is this one.
ราคา
And then if that's a bit too fast for you, you can then slow it down by using the snail.
ราคา
I think that's really good to sort of hear how it's said and copy after them. So then you press continue.
ขนมปังราคา$1
And then what I like to do is I'll just copy after them. And then what we have here is it'll give you 4 different things and you have to try and pick the right one according to what it said. So for example, cost, we've just learned
ราคา
and then I'll select it. And then another good thing is they have grammar lessons. It tells you exactly how it should be used when you're using a classifier. It tells you that it's noun, number, classifier. So you're kind of hitting all of those different fundamentals. This is a good one as well. So it will give you in English and then you can listen to it. Ha. Is it that way or is it ha? And you can put it down. And then here we've got ขนมปังราคา$1 bread costs $1. So what we have here now is this is like one of my favorite things. At the end of each lesson, you'll have a conversation between ผู้หญิงและผู้ชาย and they basically will cover the points that have been discussed. I normally will listen without looking, try and figure out what they're saying. Then at the end of the conversation, I'll read through what was said because then on the next page is when you get tested on it. So just as an example, here we go. Maybe try closing your eyes, see if you can hear what they're saying.
คุณกำลังอ่านอะไรคะ
ผมกำลังอ่านหนังสือครับ
หนังสือเล่มนี้ราคาเท่าไหร่คะ
หนังสือเล่มนี้ราคา$10ครับ
คุณมีหนังสือกี่เล่มคะ
ผมมีหนังสือ3เล่มครับ
And then you continue and then that is when you're tested on it. Then once you've done that, you can press check. We got it right. Once you've done that, you can do an exam, which is kind of what we just did in terms of how it's set out. So it will be asking you the questions, you answer them, and you also have speaking. So I just wanted to show you the speaking feature of this because I think this is actually the best part of this whole app. Like if I had to lose the rest of this whole app and I could only keep one feature, 100% is the speaking, because I really struggle with tones. If you've seen my videos where I'm trying to speak Thai, you will probably pick up that my tones are trash. So I really do like this. Here we have a magazine costs $5. Now of course I'll pick the hardest one first. So what you do is you just press the speaker to hear how it's said. Once you feel like you've got it, you'll press the mic and hope that you've got it right. Nitya-san. Well, for some reason it's not working. It was working the other day when I did this. It might be because I'm recording screen, I'm not sure. But you normally would click on that and you would be like Nitya-san raka $5 and it would tell you if you're right or wrong, and I have been wrong many a times on this. It will say you're wrong in Thai, which is really good. If you've seen my other videos on how I study Thai, you'll know that I always write in Thai. My writing I'm not too concerned about, but this is really good if you struggle with the way in which strokes should be. So that's what I really like. And then if I just show you a few examples of other levels, you'll see we have, for example, in intermediate, we've got occupation, clothing. I was using it for date and time because I thought that was quite a good one for in general. I was a bit surprised that was so far down in the intermediate. I personally would have had that maybe in beginner or at the very top of intermediate because I feel being able to say the date and the time is quite important. And then in the upper intermediate, you've got travel, classroom, music, sightseeing. It's a lot more in-depth. Relationship. I don't know why I said it like that. Advanced, you've got weather, body, reasoning, and then what you can do is you can do an overall review of everything. So at the top of mine is 125 words learned, and I can just press the review button if I wanted to. There is one more feature that I really wanted to include, linked in with the speaking, is the chat box. This contains 20 conversation examples that you're likely to face. So you start all the way with introduction, numbers of family, coffee shop, places, restaurant, cooking. And if we just go into, for example, introduction, and I'll show you an example, because I think this is one of, again, a really good feature of this.
สวัสดีค่ะ
So she said hello, sawadika, and then I can choose how I want to respond. So you can either send it or you can speak it. So I could say sawadi krab if I was a guy, or sawadika as a female. So I'll just click it and
สวัส
send
ดี
it.
ค่ะ
With this, if you say it and you're wrong in your pronunciation, again, it will correct you, which is really good. At times, it can be a bit formal, so dishan. Now, according to my sources, that's not used that often. I do wish it was a bit more relaxed in terms of you can just say shan rather than dishan. And I really like that because you've got that for all different types of conversation. It really covers the basics, and these are conversations you're very much likely to face in reality, because if you're going to go and say hello to someone, they're probably going to be like, sabadi maika, and then they're waiting for you to answer. There are some things with the chat box I wish were better, so I wish it was a bit more flexible in the sense of I've had situations I replied as a female, then I had to be a male in my next response, and then I went back to a female response. I kind of wish that there was some way that it gives you both a female and a male answer, and then if you pick the male answer to begin with, you only get male options, and if you pick female, you should only get female options. The reason why is I feel like it's a bit more immersive that way, because the average person, for example, I'm not going to start saying sawadi ka and then in my next reply say pom sabadi krab, because I'm not going to switch between different genders in my speech. So I kind of wish it would just give me the option to stick with one. And I also wish that it was a bit more informal, because sometimes they do say dishan a lot and other more formal ways of speaking. So I kind of wish there was sort of mode of like informal and formal, so you could switch between the two quite freely and easily. Overall, I think it's a really good app. There's a leadership board that you can see where you are in the leadership. I mean, I'm currently 9th position for Thai. It's probably out of 9, but who knows, because I'm still living for top 10. It also tells you how many words you've learned. It tells you how much fluency you have based on how many lessons you've done. There are a plethora of languages for you to choose from, which is really good. In terms of the lessons, I think it's quite well structured. The fact that you've got listening, reading, writing, speaking, and then you've also at the end of every single lesson you have that listening opportunity. I think that's really good, especially with such a tonal language. It is really important to be able to pick up those tones quite early on, because you don't want to be like down the road and be like,
I have no idea what you're saying, but I can reply, but I don't know what you're saying to me.
so getting that in really early is really good. Now I'm going to go through some pricing with you, because you know, like I said, you've got to be eyes wide open when you're using this app. As I said before, beginner, you get the first 2 lessons or like units in the beginner for free, and you can use all of the different features in premium for those 2 lessons. You do not get access to the other lessons, because otherwise where's the incentive for you to pay for premium? So then we're moving on to the premium pricing. Now these prices will be in GBP. Monthly we have $7.49. This is an auto renewal every month. On their website, they say that if you're only interested in sort of learning in the short term, like maybe 3-4 months, it's probably better to only go for the monthly, and I have to agree with that, because you don't really want to be forking out for an app either on its lifetime or a yearly contract if you're only going to be interested in doing it for the short term. Save your coins, people, save your coins. If you are a bit more serious about your language learning, and this is something that you are sure that you're going to be using in the longer term, then the next option is the annual option. This is $37.99 and you get a 7-day free trial. This auto renews every year, so make sure you set that calendar reminder if you don't want to renew it. Then if you're like super dedicated, you know that this is for you. You're going to be learning languages regardless of what language it is, because like I said, over 50 languages on the app. Then the lifetime option may be for you. It is a one-off payment of £114.99, and that is you covered for life, and that gives you access to all the different languages. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, down below there is an affiliate link if you would like to purchase it via my link. I do get some coinage. I'm not going to tell you to buy it just for the sake of buying. I think this is something you should definitely try first. So if I were you, I would download the app for the beginner account, have a go at the beginner lessons, see what you think, and then what I would do is I would sign up and try and get a free trial for the premium account, and then that way you can sort of experience what the premium account feels like for yourself, and that will give you a better indication of if you want to buy the full thing. I personally will probably be going for the monthly contract. Like I said before, the speaking part of it is what I want it for. I need something that will help me with my speaking because I struggle with the tones a lot. As I said, I'm trying to be 100% transparent, so these are my honest opinions. There are things on the app that I wish were different. Overall, I think it is definitely worth it. It is one of the best apps I have seen for language learning, period. So that brings me to the end. Drop down below if you're going to use this app or if you have used this app. If you have used the app, let us know down below what you thought of it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you get on with? What didn't you get on with? And if you haven't used it, drop down below if you will be using it. So let us know in the comments. And as that brings me to the end, all there's left to say is hit and smash the subscribe, the like, the share. As always, have a blessed day, and until next time, Sawadee tuk kongka, zaijian, goodbye everyone.